cheating is a sin, however, it happens so often. But my favourite things from that is the revenge stories. And this one that we're about to see now is one of the wildest ones I've ever heard of in my entire life, which could actually result in a prison sentence. Let's watch.
Did you hear about this girl on TikTok who got cheated on by her boyfriend and then got him deported back to Mexico?
No.
Is that not the craziest revenge plot you've ever heard?
Hold on. I have literally 1,000 questions.
So she's like, hey, babe, we're going to take a trip to Six Flags. Surprise.
Okay.
And he's like, great. She's like, yeah, we're leaving tomorrow. Okay. So they wake up super early. They live in Texas. So they're doing the road trip to Six Flags. Okay. He falls asleep in the car. I'm not sure if she gave him a Benadryl or if he just fell asleep.
That was very trusting.
I'm sure he was like, I'm going to Six Flags, gonna take a little snooze. My girlfriend's driving. While he's sleeping, she drives through border security. And when he wakes up, he gets the biggest plot twist of his life because he's in Mexico and he's not a legal citizen of the US. So he quite literally gets deported back to Mexico.
I'm so sorry. I am flabbergasted. My flabber is gasted right now.
I know. So imagine he wakes up and she's like, surprise, we're in Mexico. We're not at Six Flags. And he's like, okay. And she's like, joke's on you. You're staying here because you cheated on me and you can't actually get back into America.
Oh my, like, I don't even have words right now.
How good.
For how insane that is. Oh, you cheated on me and the system? Let's repay 2 debts at once. Like,
wow. So that video came up on my For You page literally yesterday, I think it was. And I was like, oh, okay, let me have a little look into it. The only other thing that stressed me out in that video, apart from the story itself, is the one of the girls who had the jacket on one arm and not the other arm. The blonde girl, I don't understand what the purpose of that was. I don't know if she was just chilling on one half of her body, whatnot. I'm not sure how I feel about that vibe. But that was wild. So obviously I had to deep dive into it and be like, hello, what is this? What are we talking about? I've never heard of this before in my entire life. Let's go deep diving. So we did have some comments. Of course, I had to jump to the comment section. And we've got stood up and applaud. We've got wait. I love how she didn't just get him deported. She did it herself. She's that girl. And I'm between Queen and that's insane and I can't decide. And I think that's my opinion on this a little bit myself. Like, I applaud the fact that she went above and beyond in a revenge. I've literally just read a book, which was fantastic, by the way. It's obviously not sponsored, but it's on Kindle Unlimited if you're not a book girly. It's called 'Tis the Season for Revenge. And I can't even think of the author was. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. So I don't know whether because I was reading that book and this video come up, I was like, oh my god, revenge left, right and centre. I am here for all the drama. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. We're gonna listen to the girl who actually did it. This has been translated because when she originally did the video, she did it in Spanish. So someone's gone on, translated everything that she said over the video of the original girl who deported her boyfriends.
Story time of how I sent my boyfriend back to Mexico without him noticing. Well, to start, I realized he was cheating on me because we had gone on vacation together, and when we came back, I wanted to transfer some photos to my phone. You know, on iPhone, you swipe up and you see a bunch of open tabs. In the US, Snapchat is used a lot, so I saw a message, and I remember opening it to check the messages. On Snapchat, messages disappear, but I noticed that some of them were saved, and those don't delete. I even remember seeing photos. I thought, he's cheating, and I remember the name and checking his contacts. And yeah, he was bold, super bold. That's when I realized. So I went to the bathroom and cried. I was crying, I was furious. Honestly, I thought, this can't end like this. I need revenge. I needed revenge, to be honest. I was wondering, what can I do? I considered telling him what I saw, but I also thought if I confront him, he might leave. I thought I helped you come, to the US that is, and everything, and you would still come out winning? So I thought, I'll send him back to Mexico. If I tell him to go back to Mexico though, he's not stupid, and he would say no and just leave my apartment. I remember I thought, I will return him to Mexico because he won't leave, he will never leave otherwise. Where we lived was 2 hours away from San Antonio, but also 2 hours away from Laredo. I knew the way to San Antonio and the route to Laredo too. I thought, I'll tell him we're going to San Antonio now. Since he was off the next day, I suggested we go to Six Flags, saying let's go now and stay overnight to make the most of it the next day, and then we can return the following day. So we packed up, made reservations, and I suggested we take a quick bathroom break before heading out so we wouldn't have to stop on the road. On the way, I suggested we make a quick stop at the nearby strip mall to get some snacks there so we could avoid stopping along the way. Otherwise, he might realize we were actually headed to Laredo instead of San Antonio. I told him I'll drive the whole way, which was about only 2 hours away, so he should rest and I would wake him up at the hotel. When we passed the first checkpoint, I thought, is this right or wrong? But then I remembered those messages and my courage returned, which made me go through with it. I was so angry, but it fueled me and I was like, yes, I'm doing this. I brought him here and paid for it, then I will return him. At the Mexican border, they were inspecting a truck, and so officers were waving to go on another lane. By this point, he realized what was happening and started saying no and asking me, why am I doing this to him? I just told him, if you want to be a jerk, go be one, but then start fresh. And you come back yourself, or she can bring you to the US, but you won't use me. You want to be a jerk? Well, now I'll leave you here. We couldn't return anyway as we were already in a queue, so we were stuck. When we passed it and got to the entry permits, there, I turned around and I told him to get out. I remember I sarcastically handed him a $50 bill and threw it at him saying, here, make do with this. He had his wallet, phone, and some cash, as we were supposed to go to Six Flags. Then I left. Driving back, I felt oddly proud, like I'd done something adult, something mature. To this day, I don't regret it. It was the best decision I made. I thought he could cheat, but he wouldn't use me. Even now, I don't feel guilty about it. It was my revenge.
Wild. Okay. Like, I get it, and I get why she obviously felt the need to say, you know, if she helped him come into the country or what have you. You know, that was the bit that she was like, no, I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting the fact that, you know, I helped you with this and then you've come here and you've disrespected me. But return to Sander, literally, I returned him. He's not a parcel. Like, I don't understand what's going on. It's so funny. And even they're saying, like, well, she can bring you back. I'm like, oh my God. But there has been some controversy of whether this could actually class as her doing something illegal and she could potentially go to prison. Let's have a little listen to that.
She could be charged. Yeah. She committed a crime. Several, actually. I'm talking about the girl that brought back her undocumented boyfriend back to Mexico because he cheated on her. No doubt he deserved it, right? No doubt. But she did break the law. First, she brought him to the US. She paid coyotes. And she wanted to legalize his status in the US. In other words, getting married to get his green card. Second, it's technically kidnapping. She brought him to a place he was not aware of. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's a crime if you bring someone without their knowledge. Third, human trafficking.
What?
I know. She crossed borders with this person in her vehicle, and she could be charged with human trafficking. And here's the worst part. If he went and filed charges against her, he could end up with a green card. I don't think that he could ever do that, but technically he could win because he was a victim of a crime. I'm telling you this so you don't get any ideas, because what she did, although he deserved everything coming to him, you don't want to be in a situation where you're breaking the law and your revenge could cost you years behind bars.
Okay, let's unpack that, right? Because human trafficking is a very, very strong statement. I don't know how to feel about that. It's not a loosey-goosey term to use. And I also, kidnap him? He willingly got in the car. Like, I know he didn't understand where the end goal was, but would you class that as kidnap? Was I classed that as kidnap? If I got in someone's car and they told me we were going to one place, we ended up going to another place. I mean, I don't know. What was the first crime that she said? What was the first one? Oh, she was saying over the green card, like marrying him. We also don't know if she was doing that. She helped him come to the US, but she didn't say that she was like, it could be a work visa. Like, he had a job. Like, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of this girl's life, but it didn't say that she was engaged to him or she was planning on marrying him. So I think that might be a bit of a assumption potentially. I don't know. I feel like we need more information. I don't know whether I'd go as far as a crime. I understand she's just trying to like put people off deporting their exes if they're going to be cheating. Yeah. I don't know whether I could say it's a crime though. But you let me know. I mean, I've got a law degree. I should probably know this. But if anyone knows more than me, let me know. But I feel like human trafficking's a very big statement for what happened, to be honest.
America cannot be a real place. Have y'all seen the video of that Mexican girl that caught her Mexican baby daddy cheating? You know, when she brought him from Mexico here, and they were pretty much living together, building a life together, right? She caught him cheating, and she told him she was gonna take him, so it was a surprise, right? Put him in the car, right, and drove across the border into Mexico. Kicked him out, gave him $50, and told him, yo, tell the other girl to bring you into America, right? You think that's crazy, right? That's not the crazy part about this, because the video went crazy viral on the internet, right? The craziest part about this is, man, that I just found out that she might do time for that. She might spend 10 years in prison for doing ISIS job, for doing the government's job, man, and taking him back to Mexico. If anything, yo, she should be a hero, bro. She saved the American tax dollars some money. How are they gonna look into lock her up now for doing that? Yo, there are so many elements to this story, man, that I don't think I could fit it, bro, in 1 to 2 minutes, man. Because the fact that she did that is fucking hilarious. I mean, that's like legendary level troll. Like, oh, you gonna cheat on me? I no problem. I'm taking a surprise. He was excited and stuff like that. Yo, when he saw him crossing the border, like, yo, where we going? Once she crossed that border, she told him where they were, and that man was like, what? And now she might go to jail for that. You can't make that stuff. Only in America, man.
So that was another video saying how she could potentially get 10 years in prison. It's not even like a short amount of time. It's absolutely wild, the like reactions that we're getting on it. We've got a couple of comments that said she did a reverse Uno on him. She did a return to sender, which is what we said earlier on. I don't know any updates. This did happen a couple of months ago. I haven't heard of her going to prison. I'm hoping to God she didn't go to prison, because I understand the severity of the situation, but then she was just getting revenge. I'm not saying that justifies her actions to an extent, but let's pray to the gods anyway that that poor girl doesn't actually go to prison when she's already been cheated on. She doesn't need that. She doesn't need that drama. No. That is it for today's video. If you're new here, my name is Antonia. We do all type of travel, reaction, lifestyle type of content. So if that is a bit of you, then make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, comment, do all that gorgeous stuff. Please let me know what you think of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Really hope to see you in the next one. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you damn well are. And yeah, but for now, bye bye bye.